And let me first just thank you for hitting the play button. You know, you must have expressed some interest in the Impact City Granville location, or maybe someone that you know is a part of our team, and they thought that you might benefit from learning more. But seriously, there's lots of videos that you can watch on the internet, and we just really appreciate you taking some time to listen to what we have to say. My name is Justin, and I'm the pastor of Impact City Church. And let me start by saying what this video is not. This video is not an advertisement for you to attend a new church. However, this video is an invitation, and that invitation is for you to consider being the church. Now, what do I mean by being the church? Well, let's first talk about what the church is and what it isn't. The church was never intended to just be a building like the one I'm sitting in today, or it was never intended to just be a service that included some good music and a message and some children's programming. But the church that Jesus started thousands of years ago is the ecclesia. The church is a gathering of people that are intended for a movement. And that movement was intended to grow and multiply until he returns. Now, if you're just simply looking for a good church to attend, that's totally okay. I think we should all attend good churches. But let me just help you out and save you a little bit of time. This probably isn't the video for you. In the coming months, we're probably going to be sharing more information about what does our Sunday morning experience look like and whether or not that's a good fit for you. But we're going to be advertising more information about our church at that time. And at that time, we're going to be inviting everyone in the area that feels disconnected, whether they're disconnected from God, they're disconnected from church, or feeling disconnected from their purpose. We're going to invite them to check us out on a Sunday morning. But this video that you're watching is intended for those who desire to be the church, that want to get involved in what we're doing to connect Granville to God. So let me just ask you this question. Are you the type of person that you desire for your family to know Jesus? And do you desire for your friends and your coworkers and your classmates and really everyone that you care about? Do you desire for them to be connected to God? And do you feel called to do something about it? If that's you, please keep watching this video because I want to share with you one of the best ways that you can make an impact. So if we haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Justin Ross, and my wife Mindy and I reside in Pataskala, Ohio, with our 7 children. And here's a quick picture of my awesome family. But over the last decade, Mindy and I have co-pastored Impact City Church. And if I could summarize to you our life's work, what we're devoting ourselves to in this community, it's with this statement. It's that we exist to see cities connected to God. Now, the first community on this journey of connecting cities to God started in Pataskala. And that was a decade ago, where my wife and I and 16 of our friends and family, we set out on a journey of the impossible. We started with really nothing but a word from God. We had no building. We had no resources. We didn't have a worship team. We didn't have a kids team. We had nothing but a word from God. But here we are 10 years later, and what I found is a word from God is more than enough. The next community on this journey is Granville. And you're probably watching this video because either you live in Granville or you live near Granville. And man, the rest of this video is really going to address how are we going to connect Granville to God? How are we going to make a difference in that community? But let me just share this with you. Our long-term vision doesn't stop there. Our long-term vision is to connect cities to God all throughout Licking County. Take a look at this map with me. This is a map of our county broken up by school district. There are 10 public school districts within this county, and our hope is over the next 15 years, or maybe it might even take us 50 years, but that we won't stop spreading the good news until every single community within Licking County is connected to God. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, like that's a really ambitious goal. How can one church go about accomplishing that? Well, let me share with you a little bit about our vision and what we've discovered in this first decade of connecting Pataskala to God. What we've discovered is there's 5 centers of influence in every community. Here they are. It's our local government. It's our schools, our churches, our community, and our families. And so here's what we believe. We believe that it's these 5 centers of influence that really determine the success of a community. And as a church, it's our hope that we can partner with each of these different centers of influence in ways of connecting them to God so that we can really live out what Jesus describes in Matthew 5:14 as a city that's set on a hill, that we can be a light into a really dark world. Now, rather than just telling you how we're going to do that, let me show you. We're going to get to the good part. We're going to eat the center of the cinnamon roll for a moment, and I want to give you a glimpse of what it really looks like to connect a city to God. Let me start with this first center of influence, with our local government. I've had the privilege of meeting with some of our local leaders, whether that be city council members, school board members, and our local mayor on a regular basis. And when we get together, it often looks like a time of prayer. We're reading God's word together, we're encouraging each other, and we're really just sharing different ways in which we can help support each other's mission. And one of those vital relationships is with Pataskala's mayor, Mike Compton. And he just wants to share a few words on how Impact City has came alongside our local government. Take a look.
I think about every little aspect that they've touched, you know, the Christmas caroling, the Easter egg hunt, the cookie walk, the fireworks, every event they've been connected with. You know, we did the downtown business blessing, and all of my events that I have, like concerning the veterans, when we have Veterans Day or 9/11 or MIA Day or Memorial Day, Impact City has been there from day one to help us have a little celebration and obviously remember the Lord before we've started any of our events. One of my favorite memories of Justin and Mindy in Impact City was when I had a young lady call me one day and she was struggling to find milk for her infant child. And it was that time, I think the first time that I knew that I could reach out to some of my churches, and Impact City was the first one to answer the call and make sure that this young lady had some milk for her baby. And I think that's one of the big impacts for me, is that I can pick up the phone when I know that I can't particularly do something for somebody, but I can find somebody who can, and that's always been Impact City Church.
Now, the second center of influence in every community is at schools, and Granville has some incredible schools. But if you have school-age kids, then you know how much of an influence school has on our children. And so that's why we know it's vital that we have a partnership with our local schools. One of the things that we've been able to do in Pataskala is a student outreach known as Fifth Quarter. And here in a moment, I'm going to show you a quick video, but we had over 500 students participate in our last outreach. And during that outreach, we had 100 students respond to the gospel. Take a look.
The future's bright, the time is now. Destiny is calling, can you hear the sound? You're brave enough to chase the sun. Show them what we're made of, we were born to run. Hey, there's a spark in your heart and a fire that's in your eyes. Full of hope, cause you know everything's gonna be alright. Living our best life, taking it all in stride. And the light will be our guide. We were born to run. 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 Staring down the road ahead, step into the wild, hold the world inside your hand. Gonna take a chance while we're still young. Nothing's gonna slow us down, cause we were born to run. Hey, there's a spark in your heart and a fire that's in your eyes. Full of hope, cause you know everything's gonna be alright. Living our best life, taking it all in stride. And the light will be our guide. We were born to run. There's a spark in your heart and a fire that's in your eyes. Full of hope, cause you know everything's gonna be alright. Living our best life, taking it all in stride. And the light will be our guide. We were born to run.
Maybe you've never been into a service like this. You've never heard anyone talk about Jesus. Allow the person next to you that maybe they don't feel like a 10. Maybe the person next to you feels like a 2 right now. Maybe you've got people that have been tearing you down. Maybe you're living scared. Maybe you're living in fear of not knowing what's next. If you want to make that decision today, is simply allow God to make you a 10 on the inside, to be a new creation and to live a life that is full and really life. The old life can pass away and the new life can begin today. So when we stand before our Creator on the judgment seat, He's going to say, son, you're a 10. Welcome home. Would you give it up for God today? Come on! Life will be a guide. We will go the road. 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 Another center of influence in every community is the churches. Now, I know I'm pretty biased, but I think this is one of the most important centers of influence in every community. And let me just make this clear. It is not our goal to be a church that stands out amongst other churches in the community, but rather, we want to lock arms with local churches. We want to lock arms with all believers in that community so that we as a city, as a community, can stand out amongst the world. That we want to be a city set on a hill. We want to be a light in a dark world. One of the ways that we've been locking arms with local churches is through an event called the Pataskala Day of Prayer. Take a look.
Right now, dozens of churches and hundreds of believers are gathering together to lift up the name of Jesus and express their faith in prayer. Scripture says that the fervent prayers of a righteous person are powerful and effective. It also says that when believers, God's people, dwell in unity, that He will pour out His blessing. And that's what we're here for, the Pataskala Day of Prayer.
I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I am born again. Forever safe in the Savior's hands. Forever free in unending grace. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, Your love, never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh.
Another center of influence is our community and all the great organizations that make a community great. Part of our DNA is that we want to go to the people before we ever ask the people to come to us. And one of the really fun ways that we've done that is around Christmas time, we have an outreach called Christmas Caroling with an emphasis on care. Take a look.
All new tonight, members of a church in Pataskala hoping to bring a bit of holiday joy. Members taking their talents to a local nursing home, raising their voices in the spirit of the season.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
A number of families coming out to sing to folks at the Pataskala Oaks Nursing Center. The group stayed outside, of course, due to safety concerns. Members of Impact Church also brought along some art supplies and decorated windows for some extra cheer. Organizers tell us it made their day to see the families of those residents as well as the staff smile.
Now, if you've ever got some extra time on your hands and you want to stalk our YouTube page or our Facebook page, you'll actually see all kinds of pictures and video from events like that happen all throughout the year. But I know that sounds good for Pataskala, but what about Granville, Justin? Great question. You know, one of our primary ways of connecting our communities to God is by adding value to what the community is already doing. You know, every community is known for something that it does great and everyone holds in high regard. And when it comes to Granville, man, there's a lot of really great things already happening in this village. For instance, we've got the Christmas Candlelight Walk, or the 4th of July Parade, or the 4302 3-Day that just happened this past spring. And so here's what we've done, is we have just looked for ways that we can insert God's people into the mix. And when we insert God's people into the mix, man, we can insert doses of hope and encouragement and really begin to make a difference. And so what I want to show you is just a few clips of the different Granville outreaches that we've been able to be a part of over the last year. Okay, you're hanging with us. We're rounding third. As we get to the last center of influence, I want to talk about your family. I want you to consider this question. Okay, what is it about a church that really draws me in? What are the things that are going to help me through the discipleship process of devoting my life to knowing and following Jesus? Here's what we found. There's 5 things that we can do to help you in that journey. The first one is our Sunday morning experience. And that's where you would find what you'd expect at a church, right? The music, the message, the kids programming, the relationships. And here's what you can do. You can check us out on YouTube and get a glimpse of what that looks like today. Or you can take a short drive over to Pataskala and see it for yourself. We would love to host you here on a Sunday morning. The second thing is our grow groups. Now, that's where you can meet some people and you can lock arms with some people that are on this journey of faith together. They meet throughout the year, different nights of the week. We've got dozens of options that might be a good fit for you and your family. Third is we have our serve teams, right? Impact City is not a spectator church. We want to get you in the game. We know that God created you with unique gifts and talents, and we want to help connect you to serving in a meaningful way. We also offer something called care groups. Now, this is for those that are in a season where you need someone to care for you or care about you. You know, in this journey of life, there's always going to be tough challenges that we face. And so, unlike grow groups where you have to sign up for them and meet together, care groups are different. Every family of Impact City Church is connected to a care leader. So if you ever find yourself in a season where you need some care, some extra attention, then there's going to be people who come alongside you and just show you the love of Christ in really practical ways. Maybe that's making a meal for you, just stopping by to pray with you, to call and encourage you, to check in with you. Things like that that really make a difference in our church experience. And the last thing is our impact mentors. You know, Sunday mornings are great. Grow groups are helpful, but there are going to be certain situations that just require one-on-one discipleship. Maybe what you're walking through is really private or it's really complex. Here's the good news. We have an army of mentors that are trained and equipped and ready to come alongside you and just walk beside you, to pray with you, to encourage, to listen, and to help you identify a next step. I want to share a quick video with you from some of our Impact mentors and how they're ready to help you.
Here at Impact City Church, we believe that growth happens in the context of relationships. Whether you're in a challenging season of life or you're moving from strength to strength, we have mentors in place to come alongside you and encourage you and walk with you on your journey.
An Impact mentor stands in the gap.
A mentor provides support during life's challenges.
A mentor is a positive example pointing you to Christ.
A mentor's role is to build relationships, to provide spiritual and practical guidance, to offer wisdom, a listening ear, encouragement, whatever it is that you may need to help push you toward that next step.
A mentor is a confidant and safe space.
A life coach.
A mentor is a listening and caring friend.
A mentor walks alongside you.
Impact mentors are trained individuals with a variety of backgrounds and life experiences, all standing at the ready to meet you right where you are.
A mentor provides friendship, growth, encouragement.
You can request a mentor by filling out a Next Steps card, following the link on our website, or texting the word mentor to 740-739-4242. God is present, God is faithful, God is loving, and God is kind. There is purpose in the struggle. Lean in, and we'll lean in with you.
Now, if any of this is resonating with you, man, it's something that you've heard or seen, saying, you know what, that's something that I might want to be a part of. Well, let me encourage you to do this. Simply click the link below and fill out a contact form. Now, here's what you're committing to, and here's all that you're committing to at this point, is that you simply want to have a conversation. And it's in that conversation that myself or one of our pastors is going to reach out. We'd love to get to know you and for you to get to know us. And it's in that conversation that you can ask any question that you like. Now, I have to believe if you've hung around and watched this long, you've probably got some questions. So let me speed up that next conversation by answering a couple frequently asked questions. There's a few things that everybody asks me. So the first question is, what is this going to look like? How can one church be in two different locations? You know, often people want to know, is this going to be like a video simulcast? Is this going to be like an extension site? No, actually, you're going to get the same experience in Granville that we have in Pataskala. The music's going to be live. The message is going to be live and in person. And we're going to have all of our children's programming the same at both locations. And so here's how we do that. The first important thing to know is that each location will have a community pastor. So for Granville, that's Pastor Bob Nicholson, which you're going to get to hear from briefly at the conclusion of this video. And it's his job to be the pastor of that community, to help shepherd the people, the leaders, and to put a special emphasis on ways that we can specifically connect Granville to God. Now, when it comes to the preaching and the music, now there's going to be live band at both locations, and they're going to be singing and leading the same songs. So I think that's pretty cool, that regardless of where you're gathering at Impact City Church, we're going to be lifting up our voices in a similar way. Now, when it comes to the teaching, that's going to be live and in person as well. We have a teaching team that is going to be rotating between the different locations. So myself personally, some weeks I'll be in Granville, and some weeks I'll be in Pataskala. The second question I often get is when? When is this going to happen? Well, let me first say it has already begun. We are in the middle of a move of God right now. We've got lots of things that are in motion that are already taking place. But here's what we haven't done. We have yet to circle a date on the calendar of when we're going to be opening our first service. So once we know when we're going to open up our Sunday morning experience, you'll learn all about it. But in the meantime, here's what we've done. We have set some very specific goals. And once we achieve these goals, then we're going to be ready to launch. But one of these goals includes you. And here's that goal. It's that we are looking for at least 50 adults that would consider themselves an ideal team member. That's someone who doesn't just want to attend church. That's someone who wants to be the church, who wants to roll up their sleeves, who wants to get involved, and wants to be part of building a new church in this community. And so if that's you, you can help us. By saying yes to God and by saying yes to this invitation, you can help us speed up what God is doing in Granville. Now, as we wrap up, I want to introduce to you our community pastor, Bob Nicholson.
I want to thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I'm excited that you are considering being part of the team that is going to connect Granville to God. As Pastor Justin mentioned, just click on the link at the bottom of this video, and I will personally contact you, and we can discuss your questions, and you can learn more about what we're doing in Granville, Ohio. We thought it would be great to end this video with quoting Romans chapter 10, verses 13 through 15. It's a backdrop and a motivator for why we are connecting Granville to God. It says this: "For everyone who calls upon the name of the Lord will be saved. How then will they call on him with whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet who bring the good news." God bless you.